Hello and welcome to English with Mr. E. Today, we are going to practice a very powerful method to improve your English speaking. It is called the shadowing technique. Shadowing is simple. You listen to me speak, and you repeat the words at the same time. You should try to match my speed, my emotion, and my rhythm. Do not wait for me to finish the sentence. Speak along with me like a shadow. This will help you speak more naturally and build your confidence. Today, we have a long and exciting mystery story for you to practice with. Please listen carefully and repeat after me. Let's begin. My name is Thomas. I am 30 years old and I work as a journalist for a small newspaper. My life was very normal until last month. It all started on a Tuesday afternoon. I was sitting in my office when a courier delivered a package. There was no return address. Inside the package, I found an old leather journal and a small silver key. The pages of the journal were yellow and smelled like old dust. I opened the first page and saw a name written in elegant handwriting. It said, "Property of Arthur Vance." Arthur Vance was a famous explorer who disappeared 50 years ago. I felt a chill run down my spine. Why was this sent to me? I began to read the journal. Arthur wrote about a hidden temple in the mountains of Peru. He claimed the temple held a treasure that was not made of gold or silver. He called it the Eye of Time. According to the journal, the Eye of Time allowed a person to see events from the past. As a journalist, this was the biggest story of my life. I decided to investigate. I went home and packed my bags. I took my camera, my flashlight, and the journal. I booked a flight to Lima immediately. When I arrived in Peru, the air was warm and humid. I hired a local guide named Diego. Diego was a tall man with a kind face and many stories. I showed him the map in the journal. Diego looked at the map and his face turned pale. He told me that the area was cursed. Many people went into those mountains and never returned. But I told him I wasn't afraid. I offered him more money and he finally agreed to take me. We traveled for 3 days through the thick jungle. The sounds of birds and monkeys were everywhere. At night, we sat by the fire and talked. Diego told me about his family and his village. I told him about my life in the city. On the 4th day, we reached the base of a high mountain. The path was narrow and dangerous. The wind was blowing hard. We climbed for hours. Suddenly, Diego stopped. He pointed to a large stone wall hidden behind some vines. "This is it," he whispered. I pushed the vines away and saw a heavy stone door. In the middle of the door, there was a small keyhole. I took out the silver key from my pocket. My hands were shaking. I put the key into the hole and turned it. A loud clicking sound echoed through the mountains. The stone door slowly slid open. It was pitch black inside. I turned on my flashlight. The beam of light cut through the dark. We walked inside slowly. The air inside was cold and still. The walls were covered in ancient paintings. They showed people looking into a giant glowing crystal. We followed a long hallway until we reached a large circular room. In the center of the room, there was a pedestal made of black stone. On top of the pedestal sat a large blue diamond. It was glowing with a soft light. "Is that it?" Diego asked. I walked toward the diamond. "This must be the Eye of Time," I said. Just as I reached for the diamond, I heard a voice behind us. "Stop right there," the voice said. I turned around and saw a man standing in the doorway. He was wearing a dark suit and holding a gun. It was my boss from the newspaper, Mr. Miller. I was shocked. "Mr. Miller? What are you doing here?" I asked. He laughed a cold, cruel laugh. "I sent you that package, Thomas," he said. "I knew you would find the temple for me. I have been looking for the Eye of Time for 20 years. Now, step away from the pedestal." I realized I had been used. Mr. Miller didn't want a news story. He wanted the power of the crystal. I looked at Diego. He was slowly reaching for a heavy stone on the floor. I tried to keep Mr. Miller talking. "Why do you want this, Mr. Miller? It belongs in a museum," I said. He stepped closer. "Knowledge is power, Thomas. With this crystal, I can control the world. I can see the secrets of my enemies. Now, give it to me." Suddenly, Diego threw the stone at the wall near the door. A loud bang echoed in the room. Mr. Miller turned his head for a second. That was my chance. I grabbed the Eye of Time from the pedestal. The moment my hand touched the crystal, the room began to shake. A bright blue light filled the entire temple. I saw visions of the past. I saw the people who built this temple. I saw Arthur Vance. He was smiling at me. Then the ceiling started to crumble. "We have to get out of here," I shouted. Diego and I ran toward the exit. Mr. Miller tried to stop us, but a large rock fell between us. The temple was collapsing. We ran through the hallway as fast as we could. We jumped out of the stone door just as the entire entrance was buried under tons of rock. We were safe, but the temple was gone forever. Mr. Miller was trapped inside. We sat on the ground, gasping for air. I looked at my hand. The Eye of Time was gone. It had disappeared during the explosion of light. Only the silver key remained in my pocket. Diego looked at me and smiled. "The treasure is safe now," he said. "No one can use it for evil." We walked back down the mountain in silence. I didn't have a story for my newspaper, and I didn't have a job anymore, but I felt a strange sense of peace. When I returned home, I wrote everything down. I didn't publish it in the newspaper. Instead, I wrote a book. I called it The Secret of the Silver Key. The book became a bestseller. I used the money to help Diego's village build a new school. Sometimes at night, I look at the silver key and remember the blue light. I realize that some secrets are meant to stay hidden. That is the end of our story. Now it is your turn to practice. Watch this video again and try to follow my voice. Don't worry about making mistakes. The more you practice, the better you will become. Shadowing is the fastest way to improve your English speaking rhythm. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and leave a comment below. What kind of stories do you want to hear next? Tell me in the comments. Thank you for watching English with Mr. E. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. Keep practicing every day. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye and keep learning.